Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Minefield
with Keith
and Gerry.
Yeah,
Episode 100. Oh, this is going to be good.
Yes, this is the final episode of the season. We will be reformatting some things. I mean, it's still going to be Keith and me. With Susan, and Craig's going to help us tighten it up, and we're going to probably just do one episode a week. One good episode a week. As compared to the not really good episodes that we've been doing. We're having fun.
We don't talk about those.
We're just having such a good time. That's really what it's all about. But you know, I want to joke. It's like every time he says, "Hey, everybody," it makes me think of the doctor from The Simpsons. Hey, everybody! I just kind of want to do that at the beginning of an episode, just impersonate him. Hey, everybody! Anyway, this is the 100th episode and the final episode of the season. Yay for us, yay! And basically, we're going to go out with a whimper. And
you mean like the Fox X-Men film?
Yeah. We're going to talk about some stuff that's in the news, and of course, entertainment news.
Yes.
And because who wants to talk about all the other stuff? Because it sucks. The big stuff right now is like Deadline.
Yeah.
Was talking about a new USA Network order for a show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from somebody that we like. And that's going to be big. We've got news on Brainstorm, production company, and their new movie.
Yes.
And we will be talking about that.
And also some information on more from the Conjuring universe.
Yes. And that's going to be exciting. And then we got some Joker news for the movie Joker by Todd Phillips.
And casting news for an upcoming, well, dude, yeah, a totally rad film that is coming back to entertain audiences. We'll tell you about that.
If you survive the opening titles. And with that, roll credits!
From the deepest, darkest recesses of Dangerous Nerds headquarters, Keith Moncrief and Gary Kissel.
They survived!
Thank you!
Thank you! So, our 100th episode, and I'm excited that we're going to go out talking about Bill and Ted.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's going on?
Basically, some casting news. Beck Bennett, who you know is one of the recent stars of Saturday Night Live, having played all kinds of roles for them over the last couple of years, is joining the cast of the new Bill and Ted film, along with returning actors Amy Stotch and Hal Landon Jr. Now, Amy played Missy, and in the first two films, along with Mr. Landon, who was Police Chief Logan, who is Ted's dad. And in case you didn't see the second movie, Amy, who was, or Missy, I'm sorry, I keep calling her Amy. Missy, character of Missy, went from being married to Bill's dad in the first movie, got married, or got divorced, and got married to Ted's dad for the second film.
Movie.
So now she's Ted's stepmom.
Technically, she's both stepmom to both of them. And you said something about the little brother?
Yeah, Beck Bennett will be basically, he's new to the franchise, but he will be the cast as Deacon, Ted's brother, who we haven't really heard too much about, really, since the first movie. He was the one who Ted charged with taking care of of Napoleon when they brought him back.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Declan lost him at the mall. Well, Bex Bennett will be playing the adult version of that.
Whatever happened to the kid that played him? Do we know?
I have no idea.
No idea.
I'm sure they tried to find him, but,
Just went off map.
Well, I mean, it's easier to add well-known, funny talent. The director of Galaxy Quest is who they've tapped to direct this movie. So the script will be written by the two guys who were the creators and have been the writers of all of the Bill and Ted films. And they've been working with the actors to bring this about. This is going to be fun. If you've enjoyed the first two films, chances are you're going to enjoy this one.
And I feel that films like this should always have at least a trilogy.
Yeah.
So we get our trilogy.
Yeah.
Before we grow old and die.
Well, it's about two guys in their, in the later stage of their lives who basically haven't exactly written the song that will unite the world, if not the universe. And they also have to deal with the fact they have daughters.
Daughters? Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, that does sound familiar. Anyway, Bill and Ted should be starting production soon, and it'll be out just in time for summer 2020.
Yes. And it's a good, I think that's a good summer fare. It's not a holiday film. It's a good summer movie. Moving on, we've got some big news from Brainstorm Entertainment. They're going to be releasing their film, which was written and directed by Alistair Banks Griffin, which is called The Wolf Hour. And what I found interesting about this, and I want to see this trailer when it finally comes out, it stars Naomi Watts, and it deals with the chaos during the blackout, during the 1977 Son of Sam murders period.
Whoa. When
they had that big blackout and it just went psycho in New York. And this is a thriller that takes place right in the middle of this.
Wait. You mean the 1977 blackout?
Mm-hmm.
Well, those of us that are, big geek fans, especially of certain geek movies of the 1970s, will remember that blackout actually occurred while they were filming the Richard Donner film Superman.
That's right.
And Christopher Reeve was noted as having basically been hanging there in midair, watching everything going on, afraid that somebody was going to pull out a gun and shoot him while he's hanging in midair in a Superman costume, because it turns out that they actually had generators to run the lights and other things, so they were the only ones with power in the middle of all the rioting and stuff going on during the blackout.
That was crazy.
With a capital C.
and apparently this film has her set against somebody trying to get at her or to her.
Wow.
And so all we have is this one photo of her with a door locked, something's in her hand, and she's looking out of a peephole. Or peephole. So I'm a big fan of Naomi Watts. I love her. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. I want to see the trailer. When are we going to get the trailer? We'll let you know. And even though this is the last episode of our season, we'll still be doing updates.
Yeah.
Just let you know, just popping in here and there until we start this new season. But basically, we want to really grind this down and figure out what it is we're doing. Because to be honest with you, I like doing this. And I know Keith likes doing this. We're really good friends. We actually enjoy each other's company. The conversations you see us having on the show is conversations we actually have on the phone, over the internet, or in person whenever we hang out.
Yeah.
Because we just love talking movie stuff and comic books too. I really would like to see, because I know that Susan has really added to the show.
Yeah.
Jumping in.
Yeah.
I love her opinion on things. But we really need somebody that does gaming.
Yeah.
Because even though I play video games, and Chance even offered to do it, but he's more of a role-playing game kind of person. He doesn't really get into first-person shooters. We need somebody that knows the gaming world. And we haven't found anybody yet that's ready for that.
We're still looking.
But we're going to be looking while we're planning this. And I'm going to be talking to quite a few people. And hopefully when we come back for the second season, and yeah, we've already been greenlit for a second season. We're the ones who greenlit it.
I don't know. I want more money.
Yeah, we're like Warner Brothers, though. We're always interfering with our productions.
I know.
Sticking our nose in.
I'll say yes to something. He says no to it later. You know.
Yeah, it's
typical Warner Brothers stuff.
Typical Warner Brothers. But let's move back to the news, which is this is one that you were wanting to talk about, which is James Wan.
You know, The Conjuring has been a very, very good series, and it kind of helps that when you have a talent like James Wan, fresh off of having a film that has made $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Aquaman, Jason Momoa. You may have heard of that film.
It's a little indie film that came out, but a guy that talks to fish.
But it turns out James Wan has expressed interest in making another Conjuring film.
And I love the idea because he knows horror. I love how he embraces horror.
Yeah, well, I also like the fact that he's talking not only about doing another Conjuring film, but also he is committed to making the Trench movie, which is based, again, on his movie Aquaman.
And it's a horror film.
Yeah, it's going to be a horror version set within the DC universe. If you've seen the movie Aquaman, there's a scene that takes place in a very scary area.
The Marianas Trench.
Yeah. So the creatures from that, he wants to spin off and do its own thing, and so it'll still be.
DC Warner should let him.
Yeah. Chances are there's some over at Warner Brothers that's thinking about saying no.
They should tell him, "You've got it, but you have to shoot it for under $100 million." And it's yours. And let it go.
Yeah.
Just go do your thing. And just step away and let him do his thing.
It'd be really cool if they just let Henry Cavill grow a beard and let him be in the movie.
Anything with Henry Cavill, I'm cool with.
Henry Cavill's just cool. He's just a cool guy.
I kind of, I had this thing I wanted to do, which is like, just for shits and giggles, because just recently somebody deep-faked the current Superman by putting Christopher Reeve's face
on Henry Cavill.
But I would like to deep fake Superman, the original movie, and put Henry Cavill's face on it and see what happens. It won't look big enough because he's so big now.
I know. We said that in a previous episode.
I know we did.
But
I can't
look
stop talking
at
about
the
him.
pictures.
He's huge. He's the Hulk.
He could play the Hulk.
He's so freaking big. I mean, that guy just loves working out.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's addicted. He's addicted.
It's his drug.
Somebody's going to have a talk with, you know what?
Intervention.
I think we should have Susan do it. Susan should do it.
Susan, do an intervention with Henry Cavill about his weight training.
There you go.
He needs to back off a little.
You go ahead and you get with him and tell him no more working out.
Yeah, you gotta lighten up, my friend. Lighten up. I guess we'll move on to the next story, which is Deadline announced that USA Networks has ordered Masters of Doom from the Franco brothers, James and Dave.
Wow.
And we looked at the synopsis on it together, and it looks really interesting because it's about the early days of video games.
Yes.
And it's a semi-true story, if not a true story. With Hollywood, you never know how close to it because they like to dramatize things and add characters that didn't exist. But Franco brothers are wanting to do this thing about the guys who created the first games. And of course, Doom.
Specifically, the game Doom is what they came up with, and thus the name Masters of Doom. But
so it looks good. I can hardly wait. Now, I'm curious if this is going to be like a made-for-TV movie, or if this is going to be like a mini-series or a series.
Yeah.
So it's we're looking forward to seeing what happens, and hopefully we'll have some more news when we come back for the second season of this show.
Cool.
So what else we got?
I think we've reached the end.
No, I think we still. Oh no, Todd Phillips. This is the playlist said that Todd Phillips' Joker film is primed to appear or premiere
Yeah.
at the Venice Film Festival.
No way.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that we get some information and interviews with Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix, or anybody else in the cast, as well as I'd like to hear something, because we haven't heard anything from Martin Scorsese.
Well, you know what?
Not one thing.
I think we should just wait until Sandy. Oh, they're not coming. Wow, Warner Brothers. I mean, seriously, guys.
Now we understand why Disney Marvel is not doing much, because they got D23.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing, Warner? What do you have going on?
I mean, look, you may not have a huge slate of films. Some of that stuff may not be ready, but you got Joker. I mean, you've already wrapped production on it. At best, you guys could go to basically Hall H and bring the entire cast of Joker with you, and let everybody just ask questions.
I think
and
they're
show
wanting.
clips.
I think they're wanting to avoid that. I think that this is a snub towards comic nerds. This is, I mean, for them to want to premiere at. I mean, it's cool that they're going to premiere at Venice, if that's really what's going on. They're wanting to make this more of a film fest production than a nerd comic fan production.
That's unfortunate.
Well, you know, you get somebody like, I mean, because how many times in comic book history have we heard the name Martin Scorsese? Never.
Yeah.
So you can put money on the fact that he's not a comic book fan.
Yeah.
So this is just simply he was engaged with this. Although, when we were talking about the rumored Lex Luthor film, I think that it would be another one that would benefit from Martin Scorsese as a standalone film.
Yeah.
Because he would bring that gritty realism and, because he's a gangster, really, in his own way. He's like the Kingpin. Lex Luthor is Superman's Kingpin.
Yeah, so, he's the architect.
The architect. We need to create a character named the Architect. It just popped in my head. I need a character named the Architect.
I'm sure the Wachowskis will let us do that.
Well, oh shit, that's right. Oh, it's already been used. Well, that's it. That's our 100th episode.
Wow. It's been good. It's been a lot of fun to do this.
Yeah, it's like we're besties, and we do a show together, and we have not similar taste in clothing. And apparently, according to Craig, he looks good in hats. I don't.
What can I say? It's just the shape
Racing
of my head.
caps, not ball caps. I read what you said, Craig. Our producer is amazing. He's. I mean, we have a gap when we went off into the world where we didn't spend time together, and I wished we had. I wished we had followed through on things when we were younger, because we had goals, we had aspirations. When we were young, we wanted to do the ultimate haunted house. We used to just talk in art class about the things we want to do, and then we went like that. I went off to do the crap that I did, have an adventure in the Army and do comics and shit, and he went off to work for Pee Wee Herman. And I know what you are. What am I? He worked for Pee Wee Herman doing props and stuff like that. Amazing work. He's incredible. And he built his career, and he went and did that. And then here we are in our 50s. We come back together, and he sees what we're doing, and we're all like, we want to do something better than what we've been doing, because we've been working for other people, making them money for years. I've made people one of my bosses walked away. I was barely able to pay a mortgage, and he bought a $500,000 house off of the labor that I did and in building his company. So now we're doing it for ourselves. What's that song? Doing it for yourself. Is it Diana Ross? No, not Diana Ross. It was one of those disco songs from the 80s. Dead silence.
The hamster in my head has decided to give up.
Baby, his sister's doing it for herself.
Yeah. The Eurythmics.
Was that the Eurythmics?
No. But I mean, that's lead singer of the Eurythmics was working on that one.
I'm not surprised because there's that vocal in there. It gets really like Aretha Franklin kind of stuff, and she can really hit those notes.
Yeah. Yes, she can.
And but anyway, I digress. This is Keith.
That's Mr. Digress himself, Gerry.
I've got ADD. I just wander. This is Pop Culture Minefield, 100th episode. Please do like us, subscribe, let us know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the season, and we're going to be coming back for a second season real soon, as soon as we streamline. And
remember, Henry, get some help. You don't always have to hit the gym.
What is up with the
every single day?
I swear to God, how do you even? I bet he can't touch his shoulders.
He probably can't.
Those biceps are like,
I hope Susan can get to him soon. I don't even think Henry
Susan, save him. You got to do it for us.
I don't even think he's dating right now. Oops.
Oh no! Well, anyway, for Susan, for Craig, and for Keith and I, thanks for showing up. Anybody that watched.
And remember,
get off our lawn. Get out of here. Y'all come back now. Yeah?
Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment, as we love to hear back from our viewers. Also, if you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron of our show through Patreon and/or GoFundMe. Links are listed below the video in the description.